first game of the tournament, we got everybody ready, gave everybody a show, right? We know what we're supposed to do. We've been coached up. I'm thrilled about our defense to keep them under 40% and to really guard the arc. I think they were 8 for 31. That's how we were going to escape, and we did escape. They're really good. But we've been in a lot of games like that, where game situations, having to make a big defensive stop, having to get a bucket and get it to the right guy, getting the ball inbounds to win a game. We've been there. Really proud that we're still alive.
Right, same for you, Coach. Perimeter defense. I mean, they had some open looks, but not that many.
To force them into 8 for 31 is a heck of a job by us, and it's probably why we won the game. We even blocked a couple. We got out. I thought our sense of urgency, switching stuff, getting out on shooters was a key. And again, I'm really thrilled because this group's a good defensive group. And we had to win it playing defense because we weren't in a great flow offensively, and some guys didn't shoot it as well as they'd like. But we continued to guard, and that's where we're pretty mature. We understand maybe different some of my other teams, when we're not scoring, it doesn't affect us on the defensive end.
Go ahead, Jerry.
And Mike, over here, Jerry Sullivan, Buffalo News. Again, with Bonzi, he's clearly doesn't want anybody to think he's hindered, but is he 100%? And also, what does it mean in a matchup of similar teams, perimeter games, to have a guy like him with his inside ability?
He certainly was the difference, and we were able to post him more. We really don't post him as much against ACC teams. He's out dribble exchanging and shooting some 15-footers and then sneaks into the post off of a ball screen roll, but we were just throwing that darn thing on in there. Looked like the Herringody days. Just chuck it on in there and see what happens. He's sore. He's a warrior, man. He played through some soreness. The great thing about the NCAA tournament, you got a day in between to really get that thing right again. And this time of year, you're playing on adrenaline anyways.
Let's go behind you there. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Heim with Associated Press. You have a player who incurs a foul but still gets dinged in the head, goes out gets 6 stitches, I've heard?
Yeah.
And you talk about the resilience there and the fact of the physicality and enduring all that.
I'm a big karma guy. And Bonds is banged up a little bit. We used a lot of energy in Brooklyn. And then Pfluger gets dinged and is bleeding all. I'm thinking like, God, I don't know about today. Is today going to be a weird day? But I tell you what, he is a tough kid. We glued him up. We would have stitched any other of our guys, but since he's from LA and he's into Hollywood, we didn't want to mess his face up. So we glued his head up because he could be, a movie star someday. But he's been tough as nails, and to come back, I actually said to my staff, he was back in, and I said, is he right? Is he giving us anything? And he hit the baseline jump shot, and I turned around and I said, I guess he's okay. He really defends. That attention to detail, chasing shooters off the arc, he's fabulous at that.
Yep.
Mike, similar question that I asked Matt. Last year you started him at this point in the tournament. Now a year later, how much have you seen his confidence grow?
Yeah, he's at the controls of this, program. He's been that way since the summer. What helped him get confident early in this season was that we did start him in the NCAA tournament. So when we went to Brooklyn and won the Legends Classic, that was a great coming out party, but he felt good, and that made us all believe in him.
Yep, April. We get a microphone right up front here.
Ava Wallace from the Washington Post. You guys have been pulling NCAA tournament wins kind of out of the fire for the past 3 seasons now, and you've had a ton of close games this season as well. What about your guys when they're clicking kind of makes them able to survive those late runs, or is there an X factor?
We've had an unbelievable run in close games. I think we're 18-3 in our last 21 overtime games. That shouldn't happen, the law of averages. But we've been in so many of them, we really believe. And I think in this tournament, this nucleus of guys just feel like as this thing was getting close, well, that's what we did all last year. We just stole wins to get to the Elite Eight. And, it's very similar to 2 years ago, the Northeastern game. A tough one, you escape, and maybe you can get on a run. Our guys really believe that because they've experienced it, which is huge.
Last question for Coach Brey. Anybody else? Okay, if not, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.